प्रिंसेस मार्गरेट कैंसर रिसर्च सेंटर। सो सानू पता है कि टॉप ग्लोबल 5 दुनिया च पहले पंजवें नंबर ते आने वाला जिहड़ा कैंसर रिसर्च सेंटर है प्रिंसेस मार्गरेट, जिहड़ा कि टोरंटो डाउनटाउन दे अंदर है। हुण गल करिए कि क्रिकेट टू कॉन्कर कैंसर, सो इत्थे रिसर्च हुंदी कैंसर दी और क्रिकेट दी गेम नू यूज़ करके हुण कैंसर नू जिहड़ा कॉन्कर करना है। सो फंड रेजिंग इवेंट है, तुसी भी जुड़ सकदे हो नाल। क्रिकेट 2 वर्ड 2 डिजिट 2 cancer.ca.com तुसी गूगल ते जाके देखोगे। क्रिकेट टीम्स रजिस्टर कर सकदी हैं। 2025 चा इवेंट होने जा रहा है और फंड रेजिंग इकट्ठा किया जाएगा ताकि कैंसर रिसर्च लाया जा सके। सो प्रिंसेस मार्गरेट कैंसर रिसर्च सेंटर इज डूइंग ए ग्रेट जॉब एंड क्रिकेट द स्पोर्ट्स के जरिए जिदा स्ट्रीट हॉकी खेली जाती है उदा ही स्ट्रीट क्रिकेट इत्थे चाहते कि खेलन लोग जुड़न स्पोर्ट्स के नाल, डोनेशन करन, फंड रेज करन और कैंसर के रिसर्च काम आ सके। सच अ ग्रेट कॉज, सी वर्ड ऑफ क्रिकेट एंड सी वर्ड ऑफ कैंसर, they come together to conquer cancer. Let's see what they have to say. Steve, it's such a good cause that cricket can conquer the cancer.
Yeah.
So what you'll say about this event?
Well, you know, we have a lot of events that are supporting the cancer research here at the Princess Margaret. You know, one of the top 5 cancer research centers in the world. And, you know, still a lot of people don't know about the great work that is happening here. We have bike rides, we have a lottery program, we have all these different ways for people to get involved. And now cricket is another way for people to get involved. And as I shared a story this morning about this gentleman I was talking to, and he hadn't even heard about Princess Margaret, but cancer had affected his family. And he wanted to find a way that spoke to him that he could get involved to help our mission to conquer cancer a lifetime. So I told him about Cricket to Conquer Cancer. He was like, oh my gosh, I played cricket growing up in India. And he says, how do I get involved? So I told him we're launching this event, Cricket to Conquer Cancer. So we're using the C word of cricket to help the C word that strikes fear in people, and we want to take that fear away from people. By raising money through Cricket to Conquer Cancer, we're going to be able to power our research so that people who are diagnosed with cancer in the future have more options, right? And survive their cancers at a higher rate than right now.
So how can people, they can attach with this fundraiser, how can they do the donations?
So we have a website, Cricket to Conquer Cancer, so cricket number 2 to conquer.ca, or they can just go and Google Cricket to Conquer Cancer, Princess Margaret. You can register a team, you can donate, you can, now the event is a year away, but what we're trying to do is get as many teams signed up as possible because we think it's going to fill up like really quick because in May 2025 at Square One is where it's going to happen. But we need people to sign up. We were looking for donors, supporters, sponsors. There's so much support we need. You know, cancer doesn't discriminate, right? Everybody's touched by cancer. And so if we can get this massive community behind our cause to help power the research that's happening here in the Cancer Center, it's going to only be super beneficial for people who are sadly diagnosed with cancer in the future.
So Princess Margaret was known for the lottery also because that's
Yeah.
for so long years that lottery, we know that Princess Margaret and we also buy that lottery.
Yeah.
Another cause to conquer cancer is a cricket now.
Yeah, you know, when I first started working at the foundation, people said, oh, you're at Princess Margaret. Oh, you're the lottery hospital. You're the lottery hospital. I said, we're actually much more than that. We're a top 5 cancer research center, and we have a lot of the different programs that help support the research. And we think Cricket to Conquer Cancer is going to resonate with people. It's one of the fastest growing sports in Canada, and I think there's a lot of Canadians who want to play cricket for good, and that's what we're doing.
And Bobby Sani from City Matters doing a great job attaching and supporting all these events.
Bobby's amazing. It was his idea.
Yes.
You know, he said, hey, Princess Margaret, he came up to me and my colleague Brendan and said, Steve, we should do an event, Cricket to Conquer Cancer, because I have so many friends who play cricket who've been touched by cancer, and this is a way for them to get involved and do something good with a game that they love to play.
Okay, thank you, Steve. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Right on. Okay.
We're here today at the launch of Cricket to Conquer Cancer. This will be Canada's first ever street cricket fundraiser. Very proud to be here as part of the team, the organizing team that's bringing this event, that's bringing community, media, professional athletes, world-class cricketers all together for a common goal, which is to raise funds and awareness against cancer and cancer treatment. It's the first of its kind event that's going to be played next year in Mississauga at Square One. And today is the launch to let everybody know that this event will be coming. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ an event like this is launching for the first time. It's a representative of who we are as immigrants and multicultural communities here in Canada, and want to request everybody to please support the event and come and make donations and make sure you play in the event.
So I'm here to sort of launch with the Princess Margaret Foundation this fantastic event, which is Cricket to Conquer Cancer. I think it's a way of raising awareness to a completely different segment of our population. Many of us are cricketers, either armchair cricketers or full-time cricketers, and I think that we're really hoping that this type of event will raise awareness of cancer. Cancer affects 1 in 2 of our population, and many patients unfortunately lose their lives to cancer. So I think there's a lot that we need to do. And what we're trying to do through the Princess Margaret Foundation is raise awareness, raise funding, and really see if we can actually improve research that will conquer cancer. We're making fantastic strides, and we're having a tremendous impact in many cancers, but there's a lot more that we need to do. And so we're really hoping that we can get the community completely engaged in this type of event, so that there's a buzz and an excitement that people actually come out to play cricket, raise funds, and actually raise awareness of cancer.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic cause. I have a personal connection to cancer with my mum, and when I was contacted, it was just like, without hesitation, I'd love to be here. And I would say I was surprised by the turnout. Lots of smiling faces, lots of media, and that's just testament to the good work that the Princess Margaret does. And I hope that cricket to conquer cancer can now join road hockey and the ride. Is concerned with bringing sports and different demographics to helping fundraising when it comes to cancer.
जी हम यहाँ इकट्ठे हुए हैं to celebrate a start of a cause that is called cricket to conquer cancer. जैसे कि हमें पता है कि जो कैंसर की डिजीज़ है वो हमारी कम्युनिटी में काफ़ी प्रेवलेंट है और बहुत सी फैमिलीज इफ़ेक्ट होती हैं कैंसर की वजह से. तो हम उस फंड रेजिंग उसके लिए जो करना चाहते हैं कैंसर के लिए, जो कि काफ़ी ज़रूरत है टूवर्ड्स द कॉज, उसके इवेंट के लिए यहाँ पे इकट्ठे हुए हैं. एंड हम बहुत खुश हैं कि हम इसको अपना इसमें एक हिस्सा डाल सकते हैं बेसिकली इस कॉज में. जी बेसिकली आई थिंक अभी इट्स जस्ट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द इवेंट. So I think I'm pretty sure they will have on their website they will have opportunities for you to basically donate, and then that will go towards the research and towards to uplift the financial burden from the families that suffer from this disease. So I think there will be various ways that people can chip in and then can help donate towards this cause. Definitely very excited. First time we're going to be playing in the T20 World Cup. So it's coming quite soon. It starts on June 1st. So really looking forward to the event and looking forward to represent Canada well in the event.
ਸੋ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀ T20 ਵਰਲਡ ਕੱਪ ਟੀਮ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ US ਵਰਲਡ ਕੱਪ ਖੇਲਣ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਟੀਮ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਪਲੇਅਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੈ. ਸੋ ਹਾਊ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਫੀਲਿੰਗ, ਹਾਊ ਐਕਸਾਈਟਡ that now Princess Margaret they started a fundraiser to conquer cancer, and cricket is there to conquer cancer. How you feel about that?
For me, I think it's a great initiative. Bringing cricket with cancer. Like for me, I lost my dad last September to cancer. And knowing this initiative, that partnership with Princess Margaret to raise a lot of fundraising and bring awareness for cancer and cricket, I'm intrigued to play a part in this, because as I say, I lost my dad. So I think this is a great something that partnership with cricket and Princess Margaret to conquer cancer.
So your message to the cricket lovers that come and look for Princess Margaret and donate into the good cause, for the good cause.
Yeah, this is a wonderful cause, and as you say, as cricket lovers, it's a way of getting you out the house, it's a way of getting you active, and if you're doing it for a good cause, why not? You know, there's only a lot of positives here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how excited you are for going for a World Cup for the first time?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, for the first time, you know, it's always good to like this program here where Jumpstart and it's good. It's a wonderful experience. It's a life-changing experience, and we're looking forward to pushing the sport further and making the country proud.
So which big teams you are looking forward? Which big? India, Pakistan, Australia, New Zealand? A tough competition is going to be happen there?
To be honest, we are going to play positive cricket. We're going to play die-hard cricket. You know, it's not about not about which tough team. We're a tough team as well. We're going there. So, wow.
So how is the fitness level of the Canadian team?
The fitness level is coming on well. We're still working. We're heading to St. Kitts in a few days to keep working on our fitness. So hopefully we'll get to that level.
And which is the first match for Canadian team?
US.
US, which date?
1st of June.
1st of June?
Yes.
With US.
Yes.
Okay, we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There's in the world. He goes, wow, never heard of you guys. I'm like, really? Because, you know, we have that lottery, and, you know, if you don't know about the lottery, man, you know, you're living in a different place in my mind. But then I asked Manu, I said, Manu, what do you do for a living? He says, I moved here from India 10 years ago, and I started my successful HVAC company in Brampton, and I said, that's pretty cool. And I said, you know, what we're about to do next month is we're launching an event called Cricket to Conquer Cancer. He goes, cricket? I played cricket growing up in India. How do I get involved? He said, my family has been touched by cancer, and I want to do something to make a difference. And he had no idea about Princess Margaret and the opportunities that we have. So that's my starting of this story. You know, that's why we do events here at the Princess Margaret. We believe these events bring communities together and act as the front porch to the foundation. With Cricket to Conquer Cancer, we're excited to broaden that welcome mat so that more communities and supporters like Manu can help us celebrate this incredible sport while creating global impact for cancer research. The stats are that 2 in 5 Canadians will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. But I'm not here to alarm anyone, because the stats are becoming more and more favorable. In 1940, survival rates for all cancers were 25%. Today, we are at 65%. Did you know that if Terry Fox, greatest Canadian, were to be diagnosed today, there'd be a very good chance his leg would be spared and that he would have finished his marathon of hope? Our research community is making steady progress, but we need to do better. Some of what is being led by the research teams at Princess Margaret include early detection initiatives. For example, we have been instrumental in creating a liquid biopsy test that can detect over 50 cancers in early stage. And as we all know, if you detect cancer early, there's a lot more options for patients. We're also working on initiatives to replace toxic chemotherapies with immune therapies that are less harmful and much more effective. We want to look back at toxic chemotherapies 15 years from now and say, how barbaric were we to use that kind of drug on patients?
Whether it's memories of playing cricket at the park or at the beach, like my wife did, who's from Australia. She said I had to shout out her name, so I had to do that. Hey, Bonnie. Or playing in front of your home, or in the streets, or in the gullies, in the alleyways, like many immigrants and multicultural communities can relate to. Today, cricket is a massive, massive sport from a global perspective. Soccer is still number 1, but cricket is number 2, with billions of fans right across the globe. A little closer to home, cricket is one of the fastest growing sports, with over 3 million fans from coast to coast to coast and growing. Now, I have to tell you, historically, the sport was introduced by the British, and cricket was a very popular sport in Canada, really right up until the 20th century, until it was overtaken with sports like ice hockey and others. But did you know that cricket was also so popular, it was declared the national sport by Sir John A. Macdonald, Canada's first Prime Minister. But next month, it's homecoming, ladies and gentlemen, when our Canadian national men's team, who are here today with us, a few members of our Canadian national men's team, they'll be representing us by going to the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup to prove to the world that, like ice hockey, cricket belongs to Canada. A round of applause for our team once again. So in recognition of this growing appeal of this sport, cricket in Canada, my colleagues here at Ethnicity Matters and our friends at Princess Margaret have come together, and we're very proud to introduce cricket to Conquer Canada, not only to Ontario, but to Canada and also to the world.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to see so many lovely faces. When I was contacted, one thing that I was certain to mention is that anytime we are dealing with cancer and survivors, it's not about pity, it's not about sentiment, it's not about support, it's about celebration. Celebrating people who are championing support and fundraising for others, and albeit going through a time in their life that we necessarily would not celebrate, we have to celebrate it for them. And that comes from a personal connection with cancer. My mom, I remember when she came home and she pulled me one side, not even my dad, and she told me she felt a lump in her breast, and it was 2 lumps, and I faster ran to the doctor. As big as I am, I'm a big baby, so I was like, go get it checked. And she came back a week or 2 later and gave me the bad news. It was filled with tears. I left home, I could not sleep at home, I could not look at my mom. I went with my best friend, spent the night, and I thought it was a death sentence. I was going to lose my mom, and I'm a mommy's boy, so it was heartbreaking. But when I got back home the next morning, she welcomed me with open arms. We sat down and we spoke about it. This is before she did any research into cancer or anything. It was just her positive mindset. She was like, Ricky, we're going to get through this. I know we are. And I remember being called up to the West Indies A team. So I couldn't be there for her throughout her cancer journey. So I shaved my head in solidarity when she was going through chemo. And I just remember, however long it took her to get out of the battle with cancer and into remission, the doctors pulled me one side and they were like, this should not have happened.
I never really sat down and connected the dots to say there's a global network here through research that has made that difference to say I have 1 month to live versus I actually have options. I have optionality as a family from a treatment perspective, and being able to see that gives me a lot of joy. And as I sit back, I look at it and say, taking that cause and connecting it to a platform that people love, such as cricket, is fantastic. So when I look at cricket to me, it's a global sport. It's driven through passion. There's so many people that are connected to it, including my family. My husband plays, my brother-in-laws play, my sons play. And when I saw this initiative, the first thing I said to them was, you are going to play and you're going to connect it to a cause. And that's where kind of the sign up for the first team came through, where I have my kids that are passionate around there's something that you love as a platform, as a sport, and there's actually an opportunity to connect it to a cause, which is cancer, and having people understand what a difference research can make. So for me, extremely passionate, very excited that there is a cause that can be connected to a platform. When I think of cancer, it hits every community. So if every community can find something they love and turn it into a platform to give back to research so we can fight against cancer, I think that's phenomenal. So again, very excited for the launch of this event and very excited to have my family participate and see a lot of communities come together towards the cause. So thank you so much.